You're listening to Let's Talk with Jason B., coming from the greatest city on earth, Flint, Michigan. Broadcasting from the studios of FlintTalkRadio.com. And now, your host, Jason B.
Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead transformation of Gaetano and Renee Buffa. Before we begin, here is one more video to get the ball rolling, so enjoy.
I was 345 pounds, large.
I was just in excruciating pain.
I was bigger than I ever was.
This one couldn't move up past here.
I had to use 2 canes on a good day.
I would try on clothes and be like, "Ey."
25 years old, pre-diabetic. There's some things I didn't even want to tell my doctor.
Then my husband told me about a film.
Fat, sick, and nearly dead.
I've lost 82 pounds.
Now I can lift 225 pounds.
I can keep up with my kids.
Watching Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead changed my life.
Watch the film at fatsickandnearlydead.com.
Day 3 was nuts. Because that's when the cravings were there. I wanted cheese so bad. I asked Renee if we could juice cheese. I was thinking to myself, I'll just take it and rub it on my tongue, but I'll spit it out.
Wow.
Can I chew it and spit it? I mean, but I didn't. I didn't give into it. I really, it was a hard day for me.
Jeez.
Well, beauty of doing juicing over doing blending is this. I got to share this point with you, Jason.
Yeah, tell us what's the difference.
You got to understand this. Blending gets fruits and vegetables and whole grains and all these things into your lifestyle, things that you need. It's great for you. Get the phytonutrients, the micronutrients, the things that your body really needs and craves. But it includes the fiber. When you blend, you outsource chewing. When you juice, you outsource digestion.
That's the key.
Bingo, that's the key.
That's the key.
And what that does, see, we are designed for feast or famine. Feast or famine.
Yep.
And there aren't many places in this world anymore where there's ever a famine.
Africa.
Absolutely. Like I said, there's very few populated
Not America.
places. Not America. Not Australia, not England, not many other places.
I mean, there are people that go hungry.
Absolutely.
That's a different...
That's a different syndrome. There isn't a famine because there's a lack of food.
That's right.
Now, I will say, the American diet, we are overfed and undernourished.
Yep, it stinks.
Okay, so we are actually in a famine, but the wrong kind. But you go into this famine and your body, I want to put a disclaimer out here real quick, Jason.
Please, go.
I am not a nutritionist. I am not a doctor. Anything that we say, please verify with your own research. Talk to your doctor beforehand before starting this or any other lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Because while we endorse this, we understand it's not for everyone, and not everyone can do this, and not everyone should do this.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, well with that, let me tell you what we've learned. When you juice, your body believes it's only drinking water, like the water that's in your glass that you and I have been drinking right now. It thinks that just water is going down into your stomach.
Beautiful.
But you are receiving tons and tons of phytonutrients and micronutrients. Now, macronutrient is something you would get from like fried chicken. A micronutrient is something you'll get from broccoli or cauliflower. Well, your body actually, from a cellular level, craves that, and you don't realize it yet. Well, what happens is you're nourishing your cells, but your body thinks it's in a famine, so it goes over to the little switch on the wall called hunger and goes, click.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're not hungry anymore.
It's what they call, I think I've heard this before, it's called empty carbohydrates, where you're filling yourself with a bunch of starches.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the American diet again. I thought you were talking about juicing. Okay.
No. You're filling yourself with all these starches, and the problem is, your body isn't absorbing any of that energy. It's actually... It is, from what I've heard and done research, it is using energy to break down those foreign components in the wheat and in the grain and in all the starches. And so you actually, when you think you're filling yourself up, you're actually using more energy to and it makes yourself more hungry.
Right. Well,
I'm a genius.
A
No.
genius. Yeah. You probably read that on the internet,
Yeah,
or you slept
probably.
at a Holiday Inn Express. Anyway, that's a joke from the old commercial. But juicing. So what that does is that allows your body to have everything it needs, but it thinks it's in a famine, so it shuts off hunger. Therefore, you're not actually starving. It releases enzymes that are normally there to break down food in your digestive tract, and those enzymes now have another job to do inside your body, which is to go repair.
Repair.
And the other thing about it is, it says, hey, remember that cheeseburger you had 4 years ago that's still hanging here on your neck? I think I'm going to go use that for energy because I have nothing here to break down.
I've got a couple cheeseburgers. Man, I gotta start.
And again,
selling
and please,
those.
I don't want any of these things to be offensive to those that carry extra weight because I don't see fat people. I actually never did. I didn't even see myself, for crying out loud. I do see people that carry extra weight. And from what I've learned through this, is that's actually energy waiting to be burned, and they need to introduce something to burn that. And there's 2 ways to burn that off of you. 2.
Go.
2.
What are they?
Number 1, increase your burn rate.
Yeah.
That's exercise. That's the popular programs that are out there. There's cardio. There's all kinds of things to increase the consumption of that extra energy you're carrying. Okay? The other one is the appropriate fuel. Now, Jason, if you bought a brand new Cadillac and it calls for premium unleaded and you ran leaded regular through it, how long before that engine doesn't work the way it was designed?
I would imagine it would not take very long at all.
Well, what you see before you is the absolute proof in the flesh that the fuel you burn for some people is more important than how it's burned.
That makes sense, yeah.
One thing I want to mention, again, I'm not anti-exercise, it's a timing perspective, but the transformation in us happened without exercise.
Yeah, that's good.
This transformation happened by consuming fruits and vegetables in juice form for an extended period of time. A very important point to make is this. You can't control how your body reacts to anything like this.
That is so important. That's right.
You can want your big toe to shrink and your earlobe will shrink. The only thing you can do, this is the only thing you personally have control over in your overall physical body. What you do and how long you do it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the only thing you can control. So we committed to this. Well, here we go. So we get to 3 days, and the 3 days is crazy. We get to 5 days, and 5 days is kind of like, hey, I can kind of coast through this. Now, at 5 days, we knew we were going 30. Remember I said 10 to get to 30?
Yeah.
5 days, I'm like, 30 is nothing. It's 6 times what we did.
That's right. That's,
But how do we started this over Easter break this year. Apologize.
I'm
2013.
sorry. Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Well, no, it's hard when you roll over to the new year to always remember it's the new year. So over Easter break is when we started. We actually started on Good Friday. And so we were doing it while I wasn't at work and while Renee wasn't at work, and we thought, how are we going to do this when we get to work? Well, day 10 is our first day back to work, and we realized that we could buy these thermoses, okay? And you can buy these special cold thermoses. You got to get the right ones, in my opinion, because they're easier to clean because you're going to use them a lot. And I had 2 of them. I had one was my breakfast juice to drink, and one was my lunch juice. And then we got into a pattern.
That is an engineer at heart. My goodness. I just take one juicer and, one thermos. Now.
So
Go ahead.
there was our pattern. I apologize there to kind of cut in, but our pattern was we did dinner for the night we were in and breakfast and lunch for the next day. We kept it simple.
Yeah.
So we ran the juicer for the quantity of 3 meals. But guess what? You're going to make 3 meals a day in some fashion. You may make them out of the cash in your pocket through the drive-thru,
Yep.
but generally you're going to prepare food cook food, consume food, and clean up. We prepared fruits and vegetables, we juiced fruits and vegetables, we consumed fruits and vegetables, and we cleaned up. Well, day 10, you asked me how it went. Day 10, I don't think we were at lunchtime texting each other. We're going 60. We're doing the 60 just like they did in the film. Because at 10, we realized we could make this simple. In the beginning, we ran out and filled our refrigerator full of spinach and kale.
Oh,
and
yeah. I've done that
Ziploc
before.
baggies and all this, and then after a while, you got to throw it out. And no. What we realized is we had to go to the grocery store either every day or every couple days, but we based it upon the meal planning of looking across that, forward-looking across that. Dinner, breakfast, lunch. We would map it out based on recipes that we got from, guess where? Rebootwithjoe.com. And we looked at those juice recipes and said, okay, based on the percentage of fruits and vegetables that you should consume in a day, which is an 80-20 rule, by the way, 80% vegetables, 20% fruits.
Thank you. I wanted to know that.
And that you need to consume a rainbow, which is the multiple colors of fruits and vegetables available. You got your greens, your oranges, your reds.
Wait a minute. Couldn't I just consume Skittles then? Taste the rainbow.
You would think.
You would think.
Toss it in the juicer, and there's your color.
Juiced is
But I
rainbow.
will tell you, just like the cheese, no.
It might not work. It might gum up the juicer.
Like gum up the juicer.
Man.
So knowing that, we would plan these out. And it was like an assembly line. Renee would get everything all arranged and set up and washed and prepared, and then one or both of us would juice. Because I tell you, it's fun to shove some of the veggies through the juice. I'm a guy, you know. It's like a chipper sort of, dragging through there to do that. It was just,
like,
you know, and I'm like, you got juice out of a sweet potato. Unbelievable. I can't squeeze a sweet potato to get anything out of it. And juice came out of that thing. You know, and it's just this amazing. So then we get all done. And I would do the wash-up. So together we created a team effort on this. And we learned early on, that women shape faster than men as things start to change. And men drop weight faster than women as things start to change.
That was very disappointing.
So all of a sudden, I'm dropping 2 or 3 to every one of hers. But on the reverse token, she went from wow to whoa quickly. Quickly, because my wife was beautiful to me. It's not that she has to be this size for her to be beautiful. She was my queen, always been.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, keep going. You can tell I'm single. Go on.
But I noticed a change in her quicker than me. For me, it was my face, feet, and hands. At day 30, which was 30 days of preparing, didn't even know there was a prep, but we learned that from the website after we'd already prepared. You prep your body for this by consuming certain foods in a certain time frame so that you don't walk into it, you know, like stepping off of a cliff. All of a sudden you're doing it, you kind of ramp yourself in. Between the 2 of those and then 30 days of juicing, I was 50 pounds off on my face, feet, and hands.
Wow.
And maybe an inch in the belt.
It was amazing.
Maybe. But oh my goodness, at 30 days. Things were changing.
Now,
Things were changing.
overall, and I might be jumping the gun here, but I am certain that I want to know, and I'm sure the viewers want to know, how much at the end of your 90 days, how much weight combined did you guys drop?
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the suspense here.
Oh, everybody wants to know.
Exactly. Well, they
Jeez.
won't listen to anything else I say if I share that number.
But you will share it, right?
We will share.
Okay, good.
So what happened was, we decided very quickly that every pound that I got rid of was ours to have gotten rid of, and every inch that Renee got rid of was ours to get rid of. So when I'd look in the mirror and go, I still don't like my profile, and my belly still enters the room before my head, I could look at Renee, who has the appropriate appendages entering the room before her body. Okay?
Ow, ow!
And every time she was concerned about, I stepped on the scale and I think it's broken because this doesn't seem like it's working right because I definitely feel lighter.
Yeah.
She could look at me and go,
Holy cow.
Holy cow. And I'd call her in. I remember the day I hit 50, I started whistling the theme song to Hawaii Five-0. I still have it as a ringtone on my phone, too, by the way.
Yes, you do.
And,
let me call it. No, I can't.
and the bottom line was, I went and woke her up and said, I went to Hawaii today. She's totally confused, half asleep. What in the world are you talking about? I hit 5-0. The major 5-0. The 5-0. So at 30 days, which was 30 days of prepping and 30 days of juicing, I got 50 pounds of that burden off of my body.
Amazing.
Okay? 50 pounds.
And that's after 30 days.
Yeah.
30 days. Now, I do count the 30 days prep because that took 15 pounds off.
Okay.
You want, well, what kind of prep are you talking about? Well, I suggest going to the Reboot with Joe website and finding how to prepare for a reboot and following their recommendations, because you can prepare in as quick as 5 days. Mm-hmm. We decided to do 30 because we didn't know any better, because we weren't as connected to that community as maybe we could have been, should have been, or wanted to be.
Now, can you, like, when you go to that, because I know there's going to be a lot of viewers here that go to the rebootwithjoe.com website, but they are going to feel disconnected. They're going to feel...
You can actually get a membership and create an account just like on Facebook and connect with the community. They have forums where people who've been through it, who are veterans of this, will share. There are forums for people to get together and connect and say, maybe all the people in Nova Scotia, I'm making that up, Nova Scotia, Wisconsin, it's the Nova Scotia, Wisconsin Rebooters.
It's Nova Scotia, Canada.
But that's fine. Okay, so
he made up his own city.
It was a hypothetical.
It's fine. Well, you make whatever you want.
Geographically challenged.
Well,
you make it up.
When I'm being hypothetical,
Hypothetical, you can say whatever you want.
That's right. So when so you can connect with people there from that basis. There's also some Facebook groups that I'm not saying are necessarily officially sanctioned, which does bring me to a point. I do want to mention that the views and opinions expressed by Renee and I do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, RebootWithJoe.com, or any of their business holdings.
Right.
We are independent, and we watched the film, and we entered into their recommendations and got these results, but we don't necessarily represent them. So if we say anything contrary to their core business or their core meaning or their core perspective, then please don't hold them to it. It's Gaetano and Renee. So we were just distracted because the juice that we're going to consume, by the way, Jason, we actually, since we couldn't do it on air this time, make a juice, we have created Joe's Mean Green with our twist.
Oh, how exciting.
Twist for you to try. Now the twist I'm talking about is, there are these recipes out there, and a lot of people look at these recipes and go, I must follow them to the microgram.
Yeah, to the T.
To the microgram, and they've got the weights and the measures. I'm going to tell you what we did. We kept it simple. Simple for some people is doing that. Simple for us was, Joe's Mean Green has green apples in it. To Renee, green apples are a little more sour than yellow apples. Okay. Well, you can do substitutions. You can put spinach in for kale. You can put romaine lettuce in for spinach. You can make these your own. If one of these recipes, like you drink it and you say, wow, there's really a lot of ginger in this, and I'm not a fan of ginger.
I like ginger, by the way.
Well, or I'm not a fan of kale, or I'm not a fan of this. You can reduce the amount of something in a recipe, or you can increase the amount of something else to compensate. Yeah. So we've got...
You make it your own.
Exactly. Like Phil's got a Mean Green, and his Mean Green has carrots in it.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, if you're somebody that likes black licorice, you can have
anise. I love black licorice.
You can have anise or fennel bulb. And I know it sounds like it's set up, but I want the listeners to know that Jason had asked me about this interview a while ago, and he and I have been instant messaging on Facebook and talking back and forth. So actually, I do know that he likes black jelly beans, and I did set that up because...
We are on Facebook. Hey, and that reminds me, real quick, shameless plug, if you want to be my Facebook friend... check out the website www.facebook.com/Let's Talk with Jason B. The show will be on here. That's the Facebook page. And then I'm always looking for more Facebook friends. So from that, you can go to my regular Facebook page. Gaetano, he doesn't like Friends, so that's that. But we're gonna have but with that, you did bring some.
Oh, absolutely. We brought some juice, and I just wanted to hit the point that also, and this is an absolute plug for rebootwithjoe.com, because I'm telling you, there are some folks on Reboot with Joe that are just absolutely stellar. Jamie Schneider, unbelievable how many of her recipes we found out we ended up liking. I'm not saying that the other folks' recipes aren't good. I'm just saying it seems like if I see that she's attached to that recipe, I got about a 90% chance that it's going to be one of our favorites. So we go look at these recipes, and I got to tell you, we did just juicing only for those 90 days.
Okay.
We don't just juice now. We actually juice our breakfast and maybe another meal here or there throughout the week. We just eat a plant-based lifestyle now. I want to bring this up.
So you're a vegetarian?
I'm not a vegetarian, nor am I a vegan.
Thank goodness.
And I'm not saying anything disrespectful to either of those communities, because they're doing great things for their bodies and their health, and you know, hey, but I'm plant-based. Dr. Furman, who's also in the film, has a food pyramid, and I saw it in the film and had to find it on his website. But the food pyramid starts out with vegetables as the base of the pyramid.
No. That's grains. That's grains. You're talking crazy talk.
That's USDA craziness there. So, and again, and then you put on top of it fruits and beans. And guess what? Those three categories, unlimited.
Yep.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. Again, keeping the balance of fruits to vegetables. Like if you eat all fruits,
80 to 20, right?
If
80
you
to 20.
juice just fruits, you can make yourself sick and give yourself sugar spikes. We know people who've done that. Well, on top of that, you put nuts and seeds. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't like some cashews? Then, on top of that, you can put the grains and the meats and the dairies and other things. And they get up to a category called seldom or never. That's plant-based. And your percentages of all those is going to be different for your body type. Mm-hmm. What body type has what? I don't know, but I know mine right now, I'm so plant-based that I did not have meat from when we prepared in the March time frame to stop doing the other stuff and do this. And I had some turkey on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
6 months later.
Wow.
And I haven't had any meat since.
Hey, power to you, man. Power to you.
Here's the thing. There's protein in everything. And this country is so consumed with, I got to have protein, I got to have protein, I got to have protein. Well, guess what? There's protein in everything. There's protein in the drink that you're going to have some of here in a moment.
I'm very excited.
Even though it's green?
Let's try it. Kermit the Frog.
By the way, and hopefully you can take care of this in post. But I have some pictures, and I took some pictures when we were preparing this earlier, of actually what's inside this drink.
Oh, yeah, we'll be able to post that for sure.
Absolutely, good deal.
Oh, exciting. Now, how long, Renee, did it take you to prepare, as I'm looking at these, how long did it take you to prepare the drink?
It gives you an estimate of, cutting and washing the vegetables and the fruit, and then juicing it. It says 10 minutes, but when you get a rhythm going, 5 minutes.
Wow. So it's not a lot of time.
It takes longer to prep than it does to pull the juice out of it.
Because I'll tell you this, because you're looking
at this point
for cooking and stuff, you're looking at 10. You're half hour to get the oven going. Yep. So really, 10 minutes is not bad at all.
During our juice-only period, we allocated, and I know some people from the exercise community are going to say to me, well, you said you didn't have time to exercise, but yet you had time to do juicing. Yes, because I removed the prepare food, consume food, clean up afterwards out and simply slid in this. Mm-hmm. Yep. I didn't add 2 hours of activities to my day. I just did it. So we would say every day in our minds, between grocery store, preparation, making 3 meals, washing and cleaning all of the dishes, a couple hours a day.
Yep.
But guess what? You're going to do that anyway.
Yes, you are.
I want to see your face.
Oh, how exciting. Wait. Before I go, you promised the viewers here weight loss. Total.
Well, there's a few other things that I want to say before I do that.
Oh boy.
It's still that suspense thing. What I learned about this movement that was different than any other movement I've seen out there.
Yeah.
What do you do afterwards?
Absolutely, because you can't go back to your...
And that's why I looked at the plant-based lifestyle.
Yep.
And I'm going to take something that our pastor says quite often.
Mm-hmm.
When you come out of something, you need something to go into.
Absolutely.
And this is very important. When you're busy doing the do's, you don't have time for the don'ts. Mm-hmm. So we became so immersed into the juicing lifestyle and then the plant-based lifestyle that we absolutely don't think about, we don't even have room in our stomachs for the stuff that's not part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want to kind of throw the official number out there that I did enter the 550 Club, and it didn't stop there.
Keep going.
The 550 Club. And I entered that 550 Club just about the time the doctor and I say negotiated in a humorous way, but my blood pressure and my blood counts came back to the point where he said, I no longer required medication after being weaned off.
Wow, that's amazing. Because I'll tell you, in America, we are so consumed with medication, and it's good that if we take care of our bodies, and trust me, guys, if you've watched the show, I am no hippie, okay? But I do think we have to start really taking care of our bodies.
Absolutely.
And learning how to the proper stuff to eat, because your McDonald's is not going to help you in your whatever health.
No.
But
So this is good. You're going to be on camera taking your first drink of a Joe's Mean Green.
Joe's Mean Green
with the different twist we put on it. Yellow Delicious instead of the green apples.
Guys, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. There you go.
Oh boy. Oh wow.
Is that a kaleidoscope of flavors or what?
Oh wow, it's like an explosion in my mouth. I mean, wow, that's really something here. And it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's just unique.
It's
you know?
unique.
It's
the ginger, it's the kale, it's the cucumbers, it's the celery.
And the apple.
I can taste a lot of stuff in there. Wow.
In that glass, I think you have 380 chews of celery.
Wow. Because I eat celery too, so this is really something. I'm going to have to... Now, you get the recipe from rebootwithjoe.com.
Absolutely. And again, we don't want this to sound like an infomercial. The bottom line is, we found a community we could plug into to give us motivation. I mean, there are success stories on that website. There's I don't know if it's a couple hundred or whatever. In fact, our stories on that website, if you want to read a little bit more details into our journey. But I went there and I found a gentleman, and I wish I could remember his name, but it wasn't so much about him as it was about the fact that it took him 2 reboots. By the way, rebooting is the process of shutting your body down while consuming fruits and vegetables for a period of time. What keyed me in on his story and what I connected with is he was a similar size to me, and it took 2 reboots for him to get where he wanted to go. And in my heart, I remembered reading one time about a blind man who took 2 touches before he could see. And the first time, he just saw men walking around, but they looked like trees walking around. But it took 2, and I realized, if I can't do it all in my first reboot, maybe there's a second one in my future. And that just encouraged me so much. The reason we use the word drop instead of weight loss. Now the reboot folks use loss, and that's fine. But I remember being young, and my mom told me that weight loss is not a good term because of this. Anything you lose, you will eventually find to replace.
There you go.
So we said, we're dropping this. We're taking it off, and we're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of it. My mom passed away in 2012.
I'm sorry.
And I think it's honoring to her that we do that. Now, additional to that, when we did reach our end 92 days,
Yeah.
we had an apple for our first meal. And we shared our apple with a group of our friends. About 40 folks showed up and took pictures and video and really made a nice party out of it.
It was
And
fun.
at that time, I hadn't entered triple digits, but between the two of us, was it 152 pounds gone on our bodies? And I remember holding up not sandbags, salt bags, water softener salt, and saying, this right here, multiply it by whatever 3 and 2 and whatever. I think it was 2 for me and 1.5 for Renee. And it's the concept of we used to carry that on our backs. What I want to bring up to you is my elderly father was there. And he came up to me and he said, thank you for letting me see you get your weight under control. And I initially thought what he meant was, thank you for inviting me to this party. I'm glad I was here to celebrate with you. And after he'd hugged me and walked away, the levity of it hit me. That he said, thank you for doing that before I go.
Wow.
And you got to understand, those of us that carry extra weight are carrying a burden.
It's just not physical, it's emotional.
It's emotional.
weight.
Yeah.
And to feel the freedom we have, to be able to have found a community of people to plug into. Do I agree with everything that everyone shares? Absolutely not. And you don't have to agree with everything I say either. But at the core of it, I don't care about your background. I don't care about your social status. I don't care about your economic status. I don't care about any of those things. At the end of the day, we're all human and we're all craving health. And our bodies, we're all tied. Whether you believe the earth is 6 million years old or 6,000 years old, you can attest to the fact that it's only been in the last 70 years that we've had such processed foods in our dietary intake.
You know what?
So no matter your background, we can agree that we need to correct what's the trend right now.
I believe the earth is flat, so there.
Well, there you go.
So there.
And there's a magic wall at the end of it, and you transition back around to the other side.
So,
but what I wanted to say, you can read more of our story online. Go to rebootwithjoe.com. My name is spelled Gaetano, Gaetano. Look, you'll find 2 versions of it. One, when we'd had such great success early on, they ran our article on us. And then when we actually got off the blood pressure medication, we submitted a more full story that kind of showed. And we've continued since then. Between the two of us, 175 pounds have come off our bodies.
wow.
Renee is off 4 medications.
High five.
Oh yeah.
I'm off 1.
The only one he took.
High five, I guess. Low 5 for only 1.
For only 1.
Hi.
And the bottom line is this. If you look back on the things that I've shared even with you today, we were on a bad trajectory and we were heading somewhere. And I started to realize what was going on and bad things were happening. And I was actually guided to this. I'd been praying about it and I found the solution. So thank you, Jesus, for leading us to the work of Joe Cross.
Amen.
And Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And I want your viewers to be encouraged. And someday I'd like to welcome them to freedom and welcome them to the 5-0 Club, welcome them to the double 5-0 Club. And if it's someone that doesn't need to get 5-0 off, like maybe half of 5-0, if half of 5-0 is all you got to get off, welcome to the 5-0 Club.
So welcome to the club in general. Just welcome.
The bottom line is that I just want to make sure that people feel very encouraged. Watch the movie. There's a sequel coming out. There's all kinds of videos out there online that Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead has on YouTube with people's success stories. Go read this stuff. Be encouraged. Step out of your comfort zone. The hardest thing is the courage to begin.
Yes.
And once you get over that courage point, and once you enter in and you start to see results, the results will continue to propel you forward. But you've got to hear this. Renee outed me at day 30. I was quiet about this. I didn't go on Facebook, hey, I'm going to start a juice fast and I'm going to be a skinny mini. And all that. I didn't do those things. I was quiet. You don't have to be public about this. We've chosen to do that. But what happened was we created a groundswelling of support through Facebook after we had achieved some results that continued to propel us forward. I don't believe we would have went 92 days without people saying, go for it, good job, looking good, feeling healthy, right on. I'm with you, I support you, I love you. Those cheerleaders and encouragers took us across that finish line.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell anyone right now, you have my endorsement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm your biggest fan. I don't care if it's this. I don't care if it's one of the exercise programs. I don't care if you have to go to the extreme of surgery. But when that burden lets loose on you, I want to welcome you to freedom.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Freedom from your burden. So with that, Jason, I thank you for getting together. I know it took us a couple months to actually connect. And
it was worth it. It was worth it. This was a great...
gave me an excuse to have an extra juice today.
Yeah, gave me an excuse to have my first juice today. So, first juice in forever. So, wow, it's delicious. It's really unique. I like the ginger. I can taste it. Gaetano, Renee, I so appreciate you coming on the show today. I really hope that our viewers have become encouraged, that they have really embraced the concept of, not just juicing, not just exercise, but weight loss in general, because it's a huge, like you were saying, a huge burden, not just physically, but emotionally. You are set free from so much bondage and so much heaviness. I consider it with every pound that a person gains, they gain 2 more pounds on the inside, and it just overwhelms them at one point. But again, I want to thank you. I really appreciate you coming on. And if anyone has any questions, you want to see the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
Can I do the 6 steps real quick, Jason? Watch
Quick,
the movie
key.
Fat,
Quick.
Sick, and Nearly Dead.
1.
Second thing, decide if you're going to do this and if you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. Look at your timing. When can you block out enough time to do this? Don't commit to say, I'm going to run out and do 180 days. Run out and say, I'm going to do 15. And at 15, maybe you can decide to go 30 because it's twice what you've just done. Third thing, consult your physician. Yes. Consult your physician. We went in for regular blood tests throughout this to make sure our blood work was appropriate. We were not supervised, but we were connected and monitored by our physician. Mm-hmm. The fourth thing you need to do is get yourself a good juicer. And juicer, not blender. We've already talked about that. I suggest the Breville JE90 XL because the Breville JE90 XL produced these results. The fifth thing you need to do is research. Rebootwithjoe.com, fatsickandnearlydead.com, Dr. Furman. These are places you can learn about the plant-based lifestyle that may be in your future on the other end of this. And the sixth thing that you need to do before you actually enter into a reboot, extremely important, prepare your body for it. Listen to the suggestions online on what to do and not to do in your first few days, because we made some doozy mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So those are the 6 things. And anybody that is my friend on Facebook, I have a little write-up on those 6 things that we learned that we like to encourage people with.
I'm friends. Woo. Okay.
So with that, you got that.
We got one more video to show you guys, and then I will. With that, we'll leave you. I will see you next week. We're gonna have more. We're gonna talk more about healthy lifestyles. It's gonna be a great month of January. I hope we can set you on track for a lifetime of change. So, thanks again, and be strong, America.
Over 5 million Americans have seen the movie.
All I'm going to do is drink juice. 60 days.
That is changing lives.
He really inspired me to throw that prescription bottle away.
Drink the juice.
I had such a poor diet and I had such poor health. I didn't think I could ever do it, and here I am.
Lose the weight.
I weighed in the 220s. This has completely changed my life.
Reboot your life.
I'm so grateful. I could cry.
Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Watch the movie at fatsickandnearlydead.com and become a success story.